Hey, everybody. Good morning and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Pelion, South Carolina. Well, y'all, it's 77 degrees Fahrenheit on this beautiful Sunday morning here in Pelion, South Kakalaki. If you guys enjoy these videos, please don't forget to give them a thumbs up and share them with a friend. And come on over there and click on that subscribe button if you ain't joined the journey yet. Y'all, we only 26 more subs away from that 1,700 subscriber mark. And y'all, if you can't remember or don't know, or if you're new to the channel, when we get to 2,500 subscribers, we're having a giveaway. We're going to be giving away 2 American Silver Eagles. That's right, 2 troy ounces of fine silver. And the giveaway is going to be open to everybody. We just got to get to 2,500 subscribers before we have it. Well, y'all, without further ado, y'all hear Jack in the background crowing, the birds are chirping, the bees are buzzing. Let's get right into it, and let's see what the worm wizards are into today. Oh, yeah, they're hanging out. They're hanging out, y'all. Now, if y'all remember, yesterday, I did not feed them any chicken feed. Any of the 16% laying crumbles that I feed them. I wanted them to finish cleaning up what was left, and I fed them some coffee grounds a couple days ago. So, I'm letting the worms finish the, like I said, finish the chicken feed. And I think today I'm going to add in a little bit of fresh mushroom compost to the bins. Oh yeah, check them out. Hanging out on the corner. Zoom in a little bit. Oh yeah, all over the lid right there. I can hear the carpenter bees trying to eat my shed, or bore holes in my, not eat it, but bore holes in my shed. I had somebody in the comments ask me, they were interested in getting some of my red wiggler worms, and they asked me how they could purchase some. Well, y'all, if you look in the description of these videos, there's a link I post there. If you click on it, it'll take you over to our eBay store. And there, the link's for 250 red wiggler worms. But you can navigate away from that link and look at the other stuff we have for sale on our eBay store. And I sell quantities of 25 all the way up to 1,000 of the red wiggler worms. And those could be used for composting or starting your own worm bin or putting in your garden, or... And if you leave me a message, you can even use them for fishing, because I'll dig you the biggest, fattest ones I got, if you're going to go fishing with them, for sure. Yes, sir. I also sell the worm castings, and we also sell the worm leachate that we collect down here in the pans, but although we don't have a whole lot of that, so that's a limited quantity and supply of that. The worm leachate is good for making compost teas, or inoculating a new compost bin, or, diluting and adding as a soil drench to your garden or potted plants or raised bed. Anyhow, if anybody's interested, if you go in the description of the videos, there's a link there, and it'll take you to our eBay store. And that's how you can purchase our red wiggler worms, or our castings. Yes, sir. We sure would appreciate that support too, y'all. But if you're not gardening and you're not interested in worm castings or worms or red wigglers or fishing, and you still want to help support the channel, well, that's easy. All you got to do is give it a thumbs up. Maybe you drop us a comment down below, or share it with a friend. And of course, subscribe to the channel so you can be updated on all our daily videos we post. Because I currently take a daily video every day of me checking in on my red wiggler worms and checking in on my blue-laced red Wyandotte chickens. And that's the kind of thing you're into. Well, that's the kind of thing we do right here every day. It's unscripted, for the most part, pretty much unedited. You come along on the journey with me. I don't, plan what I'm going to say or nothing like that. It's real reality TV. you find out at the same time I'm finding out. Because when I open these worm bins, when I'm doing the videos, this is the first time I've opened them since the last time I opened them. And that's usually the day before when I did the last video. Alright, y'all. Well, let's get right into it. Now it's time to get our hands dirty. And let's see what's really going on below the surface. Alright, let's pull back these coffee filters a little bit. Let's see. Okay. Let me zoom in a little bit more. I can still see a good many of those little mites. So I think I might give it another dusting of that diatomaceous earth today. I didn't go too heavy yesterday, so we'll do it again today. But as you can see, that the little mites don't seem to be deterring the worms any. Although they're probably competing for the same food sources. Get them all knotted up right there. There's some red wigglers there now, y'all. You know what? We didn't even look at the temperature gauge. What was the temperature? I see you, Aries. She's rubbing on my leg. What did that thing say? About the same as yesterday. About the same as yesterday. Okay. They're starting to try to get at them tea bags. Jack, he's getting a little impatient. You know, I'm looking at it. I might wait another week to do the mushroom compost feeding. I think they still could go through this a little bit more before I add. I don't know. Maybe one more week. I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I don't know. Let me wait until I get through the end. But I think I might wait until next weekend to give them that mushroom compost feeding. Because last weekend, it was Sunday. I gave them a feeding last Sunday. So it's been a week. But they've went through it pretty good. But they can go through it a little bit better before I add some more in there, I think. All right. Looks like pretty much all the chicken feed's been eaten now. The bedding is a little warm to the touch once you scoop your fingers in there. Just a little bit. Yeah, we can let them go another week through this, it looks like, before we add some more compost, mushroom compost. But I am going to go ahead and give it another sprinkling of diatomaceous earth. Since I still see a bunch of the, well, I don't see a ton of them. Let's see. There's a few. Give him another sprinkling of that diatomaceous earth. Yeah, they need a little more time to go through this. Now, over here in the corner of the bin, the bedding is cool to the touch. And over here toward the middle, it's a little warmer. So that's probably why we're not finding a whole lot of worms in the middle, because of how warm it is. They're probably over here on the edge where it's cooler. Yeah, there they are. Some nice worms. Moving along, sir. I'm thinking about, I was talking with Elizabeth in the comments earlier. I can't remember if it was last night or this morning. I was talking with Elizabeth in the comments about getting another thermometer. This one here, I'll pull it out and show y'all. Hold on. If y'all look, I don't know, this is about 10 or 12 inches long, I believe. I can't remember exactly. So it's a composting thermometer. So it does reach down, you know, down into the center of the bin to get my reading. But I've been thinking about getting one of those little, I don't know what to call them. They're like a digital thermometer. You hold in your hand like this, and it's got a little trigger or a button. You pull and press like that, and you aim it at what you want to take the temperature of. It shoots out a little laser, and then it registers the temperature. I want to get one of those, I think. What do y'all think? Drop it in the comments below. I was thinking about getting one of those. Oh, also, Southside Mike had mentioned possibly me looking into getting one of those. Oh, yeah, look at that. Worms are getting into that apple now. I tell you, them apples got to get putrid before the worms really, really like them. Ooh, that's squishy, y'all. That's a lot of worms. That's the forbidden spaghetti. Speaking of forbidden spaghetti, last night we had chicken parmesan. Ooh, it was good too, y'all. Yes, sir. It was pretty good. Look at that. That's a nice knot of worms right there. Put these tea bags back. Kind of haphazardly. I don't know. I'm gonna dust it with diatomaceous earth. Then I'll put the coffee filters back on top. They've eaten most of the chicken feed. Not a whole lot of worms in that hand, but the bedding feels nice and warm right here in the middle, which is probably why we're seeing fewer worms. But over here in the corner, it's nice and cool to the touch. Look at there, there's a lot more worms in the corner, it looks like. So that kind of tells me that the bins are probably getting a little too toward the uncomfortable zone in the centers. So I'm going to be extra careful about not adding too much chicken feed and mixing it in or nothing like that, because I don't want to get buried up underneath the bedding and then heat up a whole lot or nothing. So I'm probably going to be careful of that. I'm also probably going to stop putting mixing. I'm either going to stop mixing molasses in the water, or I'm going to use less molasses when I mix it in the water, because I'm going to probably want to slow down the activity of the bins so it doesn't heat up so much. What y'all think? Drop it in the comments below. You know, in the wintertime and when it's really cool and cold outside, I think that the molasses in the water does help keep the activity active in the bin at them lower temperatures, hopefully generate a little activity and generate a little heat. But with it being so warm outside at night and during the daytime, we really don't need all that excess heat. But what do y'all think? I'd love to hear what you think. Drop it in the comments, y'all. I read all y'all's comments, and I try to respond to everyone. So if you want to tell me something, I'll listen. Forbidden spaghetti. All right, lots of worms. Even though it's a little too warm, not too warm. Even though it's getting warm in the middle of these bins, you can see there's still lots of worms. So far it looks like they're tolerating up to about 78, 79 almost 80-degree Fahrenheit bedding temperatures. But that's only me measuring that one bin. Like I say, I really need to get something so I can measure each bin individually. I still see a good many of the red mites, but it does look like there's fewer. This bin had the most red mites in it. And then I put that diatomaceous earth on it yesterday. And it looks like I tamped down the population a good bit. But we still got a little ways to go if we want to get it down a little bit further. So, probably need to, like I say, douse them with a little diatomaceous earth again today. Dee also had a really good idea. She talked about taking these pieces of avocado and rinsing the mites off and putting them, like getting a bucket of water or something, and rinsing them off and then putting them back in here. Or she said you could even use old pieces of bread, put the bread in here, and I guess it's like a bait. It'll get moist and it'll attract the mites to the bread, and then you could probably pick up the bread and take the bread out the bin. So those were good suggestions too. I might even still do those. If this diatomaceous earth doesn't work, I'm going to try the bread idea next, probably. And then, I got a 5-gallon bucket of rainwater outside against the shed. I might just take these out there and dunk them in there. We'll see. If you got any suggestions on helping to control unwanted mites or insects in your bins, drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you do it and how you handle things. Well, y'all done made this one a little too long. I'm sure nobody watched to the end. Maybe a couple of y'all dieharders out there did. If you did, well, heck, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear who all made it to the end. Well, y'all, if you made it this far, you already know it. I appreciate it. God bless you. And y'all come back now. You hear?